Hello friends, welcome to the Animal Kingdom channel. Today I'll share an original story I've created for you. Enjoy watching. Deep in the remote forests of Canada, where snow blankets the ground for months and temperatures drop to minus 40 degrees Celsius, an extraordinary event took place, one that changed the way people perceive the wild. This is the story of a boy, a she-wolf, and an incredible bond that saved a life. Ethan, a 7-year-old boy from Vancouver, went on a winter trip with his parents. They stayed in a cozy cabin at the edge of the forest to enjoy nature. But Ethan, curious and restless, decided to explore the surroundings. He noticed large, mysterious tracks in the snow. Who left them? A bear? A deer? Unable to resist the temptation, he followed them. An hour later, he realized he was lost. The trees all looked the same, and his own footprints were quickly covered by the falling snow. The temperature dropped as the sun sank lower in the sky. Ethan called for help, but his voice was swallowed by the vast forest. Cold seeped into his body, and fear gripped his heart. He recalled his parents' warnings about wolves and bears in these woods, which only heightened his panic. Meanwhile, deep in the snowy wilderness, a she-wolf named Luna roamed. She was the leader of her pack, but unlike other wolves, she had sharper instincts and a cautious nature. That day, she sensed something was wrong. She heard a faint cry, and despite her natural wariness, decided to investigate. When Luna found Ethan, he was barely moving. His face was pale, his lips blue from the cold. The she-wolf approached, sniffed him, and lay down beside him, wrapping her warm body around him. Though terrified at first, Ethan felt an unexpected sense of safety. The warmth of her body gave him hope, but Luna knew warmth alone wouldn't be enough. She stood up and gently tugged at his jacket sleeve, signaling him to follow. Weak and shivering, Ethan obeyed. They walked through the snow-covered forest, Luna carefully leading him away from dangerous areas. She paused when he needed rest and always turned back to make sure he was still following. Her watchful eyes, filled with an eerie sense of care, reassured him. At last, they reached the forest's edge, where the cabin lights glowed in the distance. Luna stopped as if understanding her mission was complete. Ethan turned to thank her, but she had already disappeared into the darkness. His parents, frantic with worry, had started searching with the help of locals. When they saw their son walking toward the cabin, their relief was immeasurable. Ethan told them about the she-wolf, but the adults were skeptical. Who would believe that a wild predator had saved a child? However, the story didn't end there. In the following days, locals noticed something unusual. The wolves, usually elusive, were appearing closer to human settlements. Luna began visiting the forest's edge as if checking on Ethan. When he saw her, he ran to greet her. He started leaving food for her, and although she remained cautious, she accepted his offerings. Over time, she visited more frequently, and an unspoken, almost mystical bond formed between them. Then came the most shocking event. One night, while Ethan's family was sleeping, the dogs outside began barking frantically. Luna, nearby, suddenly charged toward the house. A bear, drawn by the scent of food, stood on the porch. Without hesitation, Luna positioned herself between the bear and the home, her fierce growl echoing through the night. The bear hesitated, then retreated into the forest. Ethan's parents, awakened by the commotion, witnessed the astonishing scene. They finally believed their son's story. Ethan's mother, once afraid of the forest, now looked at Luna with gratitude. His father, a natural skeptic, admitted that some things in nature defy logic. From that night on, Luna was no longer just a she-wolf who had saved a child. She had become the family's guardian. She visited every night, silently watching over them. Sometimes, she sat at the edge of the woods observing. Other times, she came closer, accepting food from Ethan. When scientists heard of Luna's unusual behavior, they began studying her. They discovered she was a wolf-dog hybrid, which explained her rare mix of wild instinct and loyalty. Her pack, once wary of humans, had started to tolerate their presence. This revelation became a breakthrough in understanding wild animal behavior. Ethan and Luna's story became a sensation. Videos of their encounters gained millions of views, and people from around the world traveled to the small Canadian town to catch a glimpse of the legendary she-wolf. Local authorities even set up cameras to monitor Luna and her pack without disturbing them. Tourists came, hoping to see her, and many left with a newfound respect for nature. The once unknown town became a destination for wildlife lovers and researchers alike. But more importantly, this story reminded people that humans and nature can coexist in harmony if there is mutual respect and trust. Luna became a symbol of hope, showing that even in the harshest conditions, kindness and compassion can be found. Her story inspired many to rethink their relationship with nature, urging them to protect the delicate balance between progress and the wild. Now a teenager, Ethan often shares his story at school events and environmental conferences. He dreams of becoming a biologist, dedicating his life to studying wolves. His experience has inspired many of his peers, even leading to the formation of a young environmentalist club at his school. What started as a small group of students curious about wildlife soon turned into a movement, with dozens of young people actively participating in conservation efforts. They organized cleanup projects in local parks, invited experts to speak about wildlife preservation, and even raised funds to support wolf conservation programs in Canada. Ethan often says that Luna didn't just save his life, she changed his perspective on the world. She opened his eyes to the delicate balance between humans and nature, showing him that the wild is not something to be feared or conquered, but rather respected and protected. He no longer sees nature as just a resource or a threat. He sees it as a home that must be protected. This belief pushed him to pursue a future in environmental science, dedicating his studies to understanding the behavior of wolves and the ecosystems they inhabit. His story caught the attention of researchers and wildlife organizations, and he was invited to share his experiences at conferences and documentary projects. People were captivated by his bond with Luna, a connection that seemed to transcend the barriers between species. As for Luna, though she remains a wild creature, she still visits the house, a living reminder that sometimes the most unexpected turns in life can lead to miracles. Some nights, Ethan still hears her distant howl echoing through the trees, a call that stirs something deep inside him. Even though years have passed, she has never truly left. Her pack, once distant, now occasionally watches from the forest's edge, observing humans from a safe distance. Some locals who once feared the presence of wolves have grown accustomed to their silent, watchful figures at the tree line. They have come to understand that Luna and her pack are not a danger. They are guardians of the wild, living symbols of coexistence. Scientists consider this a unique case of wild animals, displaying an extraordinary level of trust. They have installed hidden cameras to monitor the wolves, gathering invaluable data on their social structures and interactions with humans. Luna, now older, remains a leader, her presence a testament to the enduring connection she forged with Ethan. Some believe that her behavior has influenced her pack, making them more tolerant of human presence, a phenomenon rarely observed in wild wolf populations. And who knows? Perhaps this is just the beginning of a new era, one where humans and nature can live in harmony, just as it was always meant to be. Ethan dreams of a future where conservation and understanding replace fear and destruction. He hopes that Luna's story will inspire others to look at nature with a sense of wonder rather than fear, to see the wild not as an enemy but as an essential part of life itself. Dear friends, if you enjoyed this video, please give it a like and subscribe to our channel for daily original stories. We bring you the most incredible tales of survival, courage, and the unbreakable bond between humans and animals. See you in the next adventure.